The Hindu newspaper editorial terminology. Crime, crime, nu. Hindi अपराध, दोष, पाप, बेवकूफी, अधर्म. English meaning. Criminal law, an act punishable by law. Usually considered an evil act. Synonyms: criminal offense, law breaking, unlawful act, illegal act, misdeed. Crime related compounds words. Crimes Act, Apradh Adhiniyam. Crime victims, Apradh Pirit. Crime charged, Apradh ka आरोप. Crime committed, Apradh किया. Crime prevention, Apradh रोकथाम. Crime rate, Apradh dar. Crime scene, crime scene. Crimes committed, अपराध किए. Crime control, अपराध नियंत्रण. Crime reports, crime report. Inequality, inequality, noun. Hindi, असमानता, विषमता. English meaning, unequal distribution of resources, opportunities, or rights. Synonyms: disparity, imbalance, inequity, unfairness, disproportion. Inequality related compound words. Economic inequality, आर्थिक असमानता. Social inequality, सामाजिक असमानता. Gender inequality, लैंगिक असमानता. Income inequality, आय असमानता. Inequality reduction, असमानता कमी. Regional inequality, क्षेत्रीय असमानता. Inequality issues, असमानता मुद्दे. Structural inequality, संरचनात्मक असमानता. Inequality gap, असमानता अंतर. Global inequality, वैश्विक असमानता. Governance, noun. Hindi, शासन, प्रशासन, नियंत्रण. English meaning, the process of decision making and administration in an organization or state. Synonyms: administration, management, rule, leadership, stewardship. Governance related compound words. Good governance, sushasan. Corporate governance, corporate prashasan. Governance model, shasan model. Governance reforms, shasan sudhar. Governance framework, शासन ढांचा. Local governance, स्थानीय शासन. Governance policies, शासन नीतियां. Governance issues, शासन मुद्दे. Democratic governance, लोकतांत्रिक शासन. Governance structure, शासन संरचना. Justice, noun. Hindi, न्याय, इंसाफ, नैतिकता. English meaning, fairness in the application of law or moral principles. Synonyms: fairness, equity, righteousness, impartiality, rectitude. Justice related compound words. Social justice, सामाजिक न्याय. Criminal justice, आपराधिक न्याय. Justice system, न्याय व्यवस्था. Restorative justice, पुनर्स्थापनात्मक न्याय. Justice delivery, न्याय वितरण. Economic justice, आर्थिक न्याय. Justice reforms, न्याय सुधार. Environmental justice, पर्यावरणीय न्याय. Justice denied, न्याय अस्वीकृत. Access to justice, न्याय तक पहुंच. Democracy, noun. Hindi, लोकतंत्र, जनतंत्र. English meaning, a system of government by the people, typically through elected representatives. Synonyms: republic, self-rule, popular government, electoral system. Democracy-related compound words. Parliamentary democracy, संसदीय लोकतंत्र. Democratic process, लोकतांत्रिक प्रक्रिया. Democracy index, लोकतंत्र सूचकांक. Vibrant democracy, जीवंत लोकतंत्र. Democracy deficit, लोकतंत्र की कमी. Electoral democracy, निर्वाचन लोकतंत्र. Democracy promotion, लोकतंत्र संवर्धन. Democratic values, लोकतांत्रिक मूल्य. Democracy challenges, लोकतंत्र चुनौतियां. Grassroots democracy, जमीनी लोकतंत्र. Economy, noun. Hindi Arthvyavastha, Arthik Vyavastha. English meaning, the system of production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services. Synonyms: financial system, market, fiscal structure, trade system. Economy related compound words. National economy, Rashtriya Arthvyavastha. Global economy, Vaishvik Arthvyavastha. Economy growth, Arthik Vridhi. Informal economy, Asangathit Arthvyavastha. Economy reforms, Arthik Sudhar. Digital economy, Digital Arthvyavastha. Economy slowdown, Arthik Mandi. Green economy, Harit Arthvyavastha. Economy policies, Arthik Nitiya. Rural economy, Gramin Arthvyavastha. Corruption, Corruption noun. Hindi Bhrashtachar, Durachar, Anaitikta. English meaning, dishonest or fraudulent conduct, typically involving abuse of power. Synonyms: bribery, graft, dishonesty, malfeasance, unethical behavior. Corruption related compound words. Political corruption, Rajnitik Bhrashtachar. Corruption charges, Bhrashtachar ke आरोप. Anti-corruption, Bhrashtachar virodhi. Corruption cases, Bhrashtachar मामले. Corruption probe, Bhrashtachar जांच. Systemic corruption, Pranaligat Bhrashtachar. Corruption scandals, Bhrashtachar घोटाले. Corruption eradication, Bhrashtachar उन्मूलन. Corruption index, Bhrashtachar सूचकांक. Public corruption, सार्वजनिक भ्रष्टाचार. Policy, Policy noun. Hindi नीति, योजना, रणनीति. English meaning, a course of action adopted by a government or organization. Synonyms: strategy, plan, approach, guideline, framework. Policy related compound words. Public policy, सार्वजनिक नीति. Foreign policy, विदेश नीति. Economic policy, आर्थिक नीति. Policy framework, नीति ढांचा. Policy reforms, नीति सुधार. Monetary policy, मौद्रिक नीति. Policy implementation, नीति कार्यान्वयन. Social policy, सामाजिक नीति. Policy decisions, नीति निर्णय. Environmental policy, पर्यावरण नीति. Reform, Reform noun. Hindi सुधार, परिवर्तन, संशोधन. English meaning, changes made to improve a system or institution. Synonyms: improvement, change, amendment, overhaul, restructuring. Reform related compound words. Economic reform, आर्थिक सुधार. Judicial reform, न्यायिक सुधार. Electoral reform, निर्वाचन सुधार. Land reform, भूमि सुधार. Reform agenda, सुधार एजेंडा. Structural reform, संरचनात्मक सुधार. Reform process, सुधार प्रक्रिया. Social reform, सामाजिक सुधार. Reform measures, सुधार उपाय. Education reform, शिक्षा सुधार. Development, Development noun. Hindi विकास, प्रगति, उन्नति. English meaning, the process of growth or improvement in a society or economy. Synonyms: progress, advancement, growth, evolution, expansion. Development related compound words. Sustainable development, satat vikas. Economic development, आर्थिक विकास. Rural development, ग्रामीण विकास. Development goals, विकास लक्ष्य. Infrastructure development, बुनियादी ढांचा विकास. Human development, मानव विकास. Development projects, विकास परियोजनाएं. Urban development, शहरी विकास. Development policies, विकास नीतियां. Social development, सामाजिक विकास. Sovereignty, sovereignty noun. Hindi संप्रभुता, स्वाधीनता, सर्वोच्चता. English meaning, supreme power or authority of a state to govern itself. Synonyms: independence, autonomy, self-rule, supremacy, dominion. Sovereignty related compound words. National sovereignty, Rashtriya Samprabhuta. Territorial sovereignty, Kshetriya Samprabhuta. Sovereignty issues, Samprabhuta Mudde. Economic sovereignty, Arthik Samprabhuta. Sovereignty disputes, Samprabhuta Vivad. Political sovereignty, Rajnitik Samprabhuta. Sovereignty protection, Samprabhuta Sanrakshan. Cultural sovereignty, Sanskritik Samprabhuta. Sovereignty violation, Samprabhuta Ullanghan. Food sovereignty, Khadya Samprabhuta. Equity, equity, noun. Hindi, Samanata, Nishpakshata, Nyay. English meaning, fairness or justice in the distribution of resources or opportunities. Synonyms: fairness, impartiality, justice, equality, even-handedness. Equity-related compound words. Social equity, samajik samanata. Economic equity, arthik samanata. Gender equity, lengik samanata. Equity policies, samanata nitiya. Equity framework, samanata dhacha. Educational equity, Shekshiki Samanata. Equity promotion, Samanata Samvardhan. Health equity, Swasthya Samanata. Equity gaps, Samanata Antar. Racial equity, Nasliya Samanata. Sustainability, noun. Hindi, Sthirta, Satatta, Tikaupan. English meaning, the ability to maintain or preserve something, especially environmental balance. Synonyms: durability, continuity, permanence, eco-friendliness, longevity. Sustainability related compound words. Environmental sustainability, Paryavaraniya Sthirta. Sustainable growth, Satat Vridhi. Sustainability goals, Sthirta Lakshya. Economic sustainability, Arthik Sthirta. Sustainability policies, Sthirta Nitiya. Social sustainability, Samajik Sthirta. Sustainability initiatives, Sthirta Pahal. Sustainability challenges, Sthirta Chunotiya. Urban sustainability, Shehri Sthirta. Sustainability framework, Sthirta Dhacha. Transparency, noun. Hindi, Pardarshita, Spashtata, Khulapan. English meaning, openness and clarity in processes, especially in governance. Synonyms: openness, clarity, accountability, candidness, visibility. Transparency related compound words. Financial transparency, Vittiya Pardarshita. Government transparency, Sarkari Pardarshita. Transparency measures, Pardarshita Upay. Institutional transparency, Sansthagat Pardarshita. Transparency laws, Pardarshita Kanun. Public transparency, Sarvajanik Pardarshita. Transparency issues, Pardarshita Mudde. Corporate transparency, Corporate Pardarshita. Transparency reforms, Pardarshita Sudhar. Electoral transparency, Nirvachan Pardarshita. Security, Shriti, security, noun. Hindi, Suraksha, Sanraksha, Nishchitta. English meaning, the state of being protected from harm or threats. Synonyms: safety, protection, defense, assurance, stability. Security related compound words. National security, Rashtriya Suraksha. Cyber security, Cyber Suraksha. Security measures, Suraksha Upay. Internal security, Antarik Suraksha. Security threats, Suraksha Khatre. Economic security, Arthik Suraksha. Security policies, Suraksha Nitiya. Border security, Seema Suraksha. Public security, Sarvajanik Suraksha. Security framework, Suraksha Dhacha. Federalism, noun. Hindi Sanghvad Sanyukt Shasan. English meaning a system of government dividing power between central and regional authorities. Synonyms unionism, decentralization, confederation, shared governance. Federalism related compound words. Cooperative federalism, Sahakari Sanghvad. Fiscal federalism, Vittiya Sanghvad. Federalism model, Sanghvad model. Competitive federalism, Pratispardhi Sanghvad. Federalism principles, Sanghvad Siddhant. Federalism challenges, Sanghvad Chunotiya. Indian federalism, Bhartiya Sanghvad. Federalism reforms, Sanghvad Sudhar. Federalism debates, Sanghvad Behes. Federalism structure, Sanghvad Sanrachna. Diplomacy, diplomacy, noun. Hindi, Kutniti, Rajnaya, Videsh Niti. English meaning, the art of managing international relations through negotiation. Synonyms tact, negotiation, statecraft, foreign policy, mediation. Diplomacy related compound words. Economic diplomacy, Arthik Kutniti. Public diplomacy, Sarvajanik Kutniti. Diplomacy efforts, Kutniti Prayas. Bilateral diplomacy, Dvipakshiya Kutniti. Multilateral diplomacy, Bahupakshiya Kutniti. Diplomacy initiatives, Kutniti Pahal. Cultural diplomacy, Sanskritik Kutniti. Diplomacy challenges, Kutniti Chunotiya. Soft diplomacy, Narm Kutniti. Track 2 diplomacy, Track 2 Kutniti. Inclusion, inclusion, noun. Hindi, Samaveshan, Shamil Karna, Ekikaran. English meaning, the act of including everyone, especially marginalized groups. Synonyms integration, incorporation, involvement, acceptance, diversity. Inclusion related compound words. Social inclusion, Samajik Samaveshan. Financial inclusion, Vittiya Samaveshan. Inclusive growth, Samaveshi Vridhi. Inclusion policies, Samaveshan Nitiya. Gender inclusion, Lengik Samaveshan. Inclusion initiatives, Samaveshan Pahal. Educational inclusion, Shekshiki Samaveshan. Inclusion framework, Samaveshan Dhacha. Digital inclusion, Digital Samaveshan. Economic inclusion, Arthik Samaveshan. Welfare, welfare, noun. Hindi, Kalyan, Hit, Samriddhi. English meaning, the well-being of individuals or communities, often supported by government. Synonyms, well-being, prosperity, benefit, social support, public good. Welfare-related compound words. Social welfare, Samajik Kalyan. Welfare schemes, Kalyan Yojanaएं. Economic welfare, Arthik Kalyan. Welfare policies, Kalyan Nitiya. Public welfare, Sarvajanik Kalyan. Welfare programs, Kalyan Karyakram. Child welfare, Bal Kalyan. Welfare reforms, Kalyan Sudhar. Rural welfare, Gramin Kalyan. Welfare measures, Kalyan Upay. Regulation, Prajalan, regulation, noun. Hindi, Niyaman, Viniyaman, Niyantran. English meaning, rules or laws designed to control or govern conduct. Synonyms control, rule, law, guideline, oversight. Regulation related compound words. Financial regulation, Vittiya Niyaman. Environmental regulation, Paryavaraniya Niyaman. Regulatory framework, Niyamak Dhacha. Regulation policies, Niyaman Nitiya. Economic regulation, Arthik Niyaman. Regulatory reforms, Niyamak Sudhar. Industry regulation, Udyog Niyaman. Regulation compliance, Niyaman Anupalan. Banking regulation, Banking Niyaman. Regulatory challenges, नियामक चुनौतियां. Resilience, noun. Hindi, लचीलापन, सहनशक्ति, पुनर्जनन. English meaning, the ability to recover quickly from difficulties or adapt to change. Synonyms, adaptability, buoyancy, flexibility, strength, recovery. Resilience related compound words. Economic resilience, आर्थिक लचीलापन. Social resilience, सामाजिक लचीलापन. Climate resilience, जलवायु लचीलापन. Resilience strategies, लचीलापन रणनीतियां. Community resilience, सामुदायिक लचीलापन. Resilience building, लचीलापन निर्माण. Resilience policies, लचीलापन नीतियां. Urban resilience, शहरी लचीलापन. Resilience framework, लचीलापन ढांचा. Psychological resilience, मनोवैज्ञानिक लचीलापन. Ethics, ethics, noun. Hindi, नीतिशास्त्र, नैतिकता, आचार. English meaning, moral principles governing behavior or decision making. Synonyms, morality, principles, values, integrity, righteousness. Ethics related compound words. Business ethics, व्यावसायिक नीतिशास्त्र. Political ethics, राजनीतिक नीतिशास्त्र. Ethical standards, नैतिक मानक. Ethics committee, नीतिशास्त्र समिति. Professional ethics, पेशेवर नीतिशास्त्र. Ethics violations, नैतिकता उल्लंघन. Environmental ethics, पर्यावरणीय नीतिशास्त्र. Ethics framework, नीतिशास्त्र ढांचा. Medical ethics, चिकित्सा नीतिशास्त्र. Ethical dilemmas, नैतिक दुविधाएं. Innovation, innovation, noun. Hindi, नवाचार, नई खोज, आविष्कार. English meaning, the introduction of new ideas, methods, or products. Synonyms, creativity, invention, novelty, advancement, origin.